Marvel has finally unveiled the official trailer for Daredevil Born Again, and I took the time to watch it at 0.25x speed, uncovering some fantastic Easter eggs along the way. So let's dive right in. Number 1, we catch a glimpse of a long-haired man attacking Wilson Fisk, with his favorite white painting prominently displayed in the background. This setting is the same location where we later see Fisk and Vanessa enjoying their dinner date. It's interesting to note that the ceiling in this room is unusually low, and there's no furniture aside from a large round table, suggesting it might be an underground hideout. Why would the mayor opt for such a dark, secluded spot for a dinner date? This could very well be Wilson Fisk's secret lair, allowing him to spend time with Vanessa away from prying eyes while keeping her safe, all while maintaining the facade that they're not a couple. Additionally, the intruder tries to attack Wilson Fisk with an axe. And if we rewind to the 30-second teaser Disney released earlier, we see Fisk wielding the same axe as he descends some stairs. In the trailer, we get a clearer view of him confidently walking down those stairs with the weapon in hand. Number 2, the hard R rating and intense brutality are front and center in the trailer. While movies are labeled as rated R, TV shows fall under the TVMA category. And yes, Daredevil Born Again is rated TVMA, meaning it's intended strictly for mature audiences. With a PG rating, you can't really go all out with blood and graphic content, but this trailer doesn't hold back, showcasing just how intense this show is going to be. For instance, when Wilson Fisk delivers a punch to a guy's head while gripping his hair, blood splatters everywhere the moment the punch connects, reminiscent of scenes from Deadpool and Wolverine. I might not have considered this a noteworthy detail in a John Wick film or any other unrated movie, but since it's Marvel on Disney Plus, we have to acknowledge their efforts. Marvel truly understands their audience and isn't afraid to push the limits. They know what we crave and they deliver it. Number 3, in the original version of Daredevil Born Again, Matt was meant to step back from his vigilante role for nearly the entire first season. However, Marvel Studios quickly recognized that this was a poor choice and revamped the storyline. It seems that Matt's struggle with his darker persona will still be part of the narrative, albeit in a more subdued manner.
Why did you stop being a vigilante? The line was crossed.
Notice how Matt mentions that a line was crossed, which led him to stop being in the dating scene, suggesting that someone significant to him has died, and he feels a sense of responsibility for it. This is highlighted in the scene where Matt discards his mask. We can see blood on the sidewalk and a body being wheeled away on a gurney nearby. The lack of urgency in handling the body indicates that this person is already deceased. After conducting a thorough analysis of the scenes, I believe the sequence unfolds like this. Karen, Matt, and Foggy are at Jose's bar, enjoying their usual hangout. They decide to call it a night and head home, but then Bullseye arrives and attacks them. Matt quickly dons his Daredevil suit, leading to an intense confrontation with Bullseye that culminates in them crashing through a window at the bar. Tragically, someone close to Matt is killed during this altercation, prompting him to throw his cowl off the rooftop in despair. Supporting my theory, the window glass at Jose's bar is absent when we see Daredevil toss the mask. One clever detail I really appreciated is that the missing horn from the Devil's mask and the scratch cowl together form the letter D, representing Daredevil. Number 4, in this scene, we find Muse carrying an unconscious individual along an abandoned railway track with an elevated train moving in the background. This isn't just a random shot from Hell's Kitchen. Muse's hideout is nearby. While some might assume this is Daredevil, it's actually Muse, identifiable by the attire and boots. It seems Muse has abducted this person and is likely taking them to his hideout, where Daredevil will eventually discover the same unconscious figure laid out on a table. So, how dangerous is Muse as a villain in the comics, especially since he's set to be one of the main antagonists in the show? Muse is a disturbed serial killer who kidnaps numerous victims, extracting their blood to create twisted artworks. He primarily targets corrupt judges, politicians, and police officers, which suggests this victim might be a corrupt cop. The situation escalates further as Muse arranges the bodies of his victims in everyday scenarios, like watching TV or having lunch, creating a chilling tableau. He doesn't seek fame or power. He believes he's crafting art that no one else could conceive. Think of Muse as a Joker-like character, unpredictable, chaotic, and profoundly malevolent. So if you're curious whether Disney's Daredevil will match the darkness of the Netflix series, the answer is a resounding yes, perhaps even darker. Number 5, inside M's hideout, there are numerous cans of paint and various artworks adorning the walls. One piece stands out, resembling the Punisher skull, which is quite fitting since Muse draws some inspiration from the Punisher in the comics. However, Muse takes it a step further by also depicting the tragic consequences of violence, including the loss of innocent lives. Among the artwork, there's a striking image of a distorted, bloody face crowned with a regal crown. Interestingly, if we look at the mural of Wilson Fisk, we see a similar crown resting on his head, suggesting that the crown serves as Muse's signature in many of his pieces. I also appreciate how the New York skyline creatively forms the letter I in the word king, accompanied by a pin. Additionally, Muse has incorporated the American dollar bill into the letters in his artwork. The deeper message here is compelling. Muse paints two versions of Wilson Fisk. The white-suited Fisk represents the polished persona he presents to the public, claiming to be a champion for New York's spirit. In stark contrast, his darker side is illustrated with a grim expression and flames rising from beneath his suit, symbolizing his inner fury and readiness to ignite chaos for his own benefit. Muse's portrayal of Wilson Fisk in his murals is also a nod to similar themes found in the comics. Number 6. In the 6th scene, we find Matt entering an empty courtroom, his cane resting against a bench. Above the judge's chair, there's a beautifully curved inscription on the wall that reads, "In God We Trust." This detail is both accurate and realistic. However, if we look back at the 30-second teaser released earlier, we can see that this inscription and logo were missing from that scene. This suggests that Marvel was still fine-tuning the post-production elements when the teaser was launched, adding these details later on. Such subtle enhancements highlight the essence of good CGI when it blends seamlessly into the scene. This also sheds light on why Marvel took their time releasing this trailer. It seems they really polished it to perfection. Number 7. In the 7th scene, 5 armed robbers storm into the New York Mutual Bank, ready to execute their heist. Unfortunately for them, Matt Murdock happens to be inside. One by one, he takes them down with skill. When the lead robber, dressed in red, aims his shotgun at Matt, our hero not only defeats him, but also snatches away his red mask. The moment is made even more thrilling with a flying drop kick that leaves the robber with broken bones, all while Matt expertly wields his cane. The trailer then transitions cleverly from the robber's chilling scream to a haunting piece of artwork by Muse, depicting a human face screaming and bleeding from the eyes. Number 8. The Muse chair features a design inspired by the stars and stripes of the American flag. This unique chair acts as a distorted throne, symbolizing Muse's complicated relationship with his nation's values. It visually captures Muse's conflicted sense of patriotism. Number 9. John Bernthal is set to return as Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher. In this teaser, he sports a full beard, although he appears clean-shaven in the footage. My theory is that Matt Murdock will encounter a challenge and seek Frank's assistance. This will lead Matt to track him down, persuading him to rejoin the fight, and naturally Frank will don his gear to deliver his own brand of justice. Number 10. In this scene, we see Karen Page in a courtroom, looking extremely frustrated. I suspect that Bullseye, also known as Poe Dexter, is present as well. If this occurs after the bar scene, it suggests that Bullseye has been apprehended and is now on trial for his recent actions. Alternatively, it could be before that moment, with Wilson Fisk manipulating the situation to secure Bullseye's release on bail or parole. Either scenario would explain Karen's anger, especially considering Bullseye's violent rampage in Season 3, which she witnessed firsthand. Number 11. In this scene, we observe 2 more unconscious figures hanging by ropes. This imagery is reminiscent of the comics, where Muse employs chains to suspend his victims from the ceiling and extract their blood, which he later uses as paint for his disturbing artwork. Number 12. Daredevil now boasts 5 distinct cowls, each paired with its own unique suit. It's interesting to note that the golden cowl is the most scratched, as it's the one we've recently seen him wear in She-Hulk. The trailer also gives us a sneak peek of White Tiger. If you're curious, his comic book name is Hector Ella, and he's the one throwing punches in the subway station. While his comic suit is entirely white, Marvel has added some black accents for a modern twist. The amulet around his neck is the source of his superhuman abilities. The White Tiger mantle is eventually passed to his niece, Angela Del Toro, who becomes the next White Tiger. Hector is also recognized as the first Puerto Rican superhero in comic history. If you're curious, in the comics, he gets wrongfully accused of murder, leading Matt Murdock to defend him in court. Sadly, the actor portraying White Tiger, Kimos Reese, passed away in December 2023 after a battle with cancer. That wraps up the trailer highlights. I'm eagerly looking forward to March 4th, when I'll be breaking down each episode frame by frame at 0.25x speed. It's going to be an unforgettable journey. By the way, filming for Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is set to begin soon, so the future looks promising for the MCU. With that, I'll conclude today's video and catch you all in the next one.